Hello, Rise Up Visionaries. I'm Susan May, and I'm here to share my journey and my random ramblings to inspire you to tune into your intuition so you can continue your journey of unplugging. So, I'm coming to you tonight, as promised, to share my father's story and his journey with vitamin C and how he has used it as part of his cancer treatment. But first, before I do that, I want to share just some ramblings and thoughts about my life in the past year. And I am tired tonight, but it is a good tired. It is a peaceful tired. It is a worn out from being outside all day tired and soaking up sunshine and talking with friends and walking and running and jumping and playing. And it is also a tired due to the fact that I am choosing to set my alarm to wake up several days a week and do yoga first thing and then do work for my Rise Up with Susan May business. And that is such an incredible feeling. And it's not something that I would have ever imagined doing recently even. So I've just been reflecting on the past year, exactly a year, because a year ago yesterday, on January 18th, my family packed up our house from Virginia. We drove 12 long hours to Florida to a house we had not seen in person and just moved. And it wasn't an easy thing to do, but now I am really glad that we did it. I can't imagine what my life would have been like if I hadn't done it, mostly because I'm really happy with the past year of my life. But one thing I just keep thinking about is that when you choose to unplug from the mainstream, from the matrix, when you start seeing truths that you cannot unsee, when you begin to share things that you're seeing in the world that before you didn't see, it can be scary. And at first we don't share. Usually we see things and we're looking around at people, our friends, our family. Are they seeing this? Am I alone? Am I crazy? And it can feel really, really lonely to be in that place of questioning and feeling like we're the crazy ones. So the thought that keeps coming back into my head is that many times the things that we fear actually will happen. Perfect example. I was scared of losing friends. Guess what? I lost a lot of friends in the past year. Long time friends, best friends. Some of them were actual, I can say yes, they're gone from my life. They chose to leave. They really set a boundary that they didn't want to be part of my life anymore, which was difficult. Other friends, it was more like a fading. We drifted apart. But I know that it's real, that it's, we aren't close anymore, and it's because of a lot of things that have happened in the world. And so, yes, friendships, maybe even family, loved ones, relationships change when we change. It's inevitable. So yes, that can happen. I was also very scared of needing to move because I thought we were settling down into this home in Virginia. We bought a house for the first time since Marisol was a baby. And we thought, this is it. We're going to watch our kids grow here. They're going to make friends. They're going to live through their teen years here. And guess what? We moved. Now, that was more of a proactive choice on our part. And you can see I got my DeSantis hat on here, Make America Florida. We chose to go to a place where we felt we would be living more in alignment with our beliefs and feel freer, and I do not regret that at all. We fear losing our job. You can see my shirt here, VIP Kid, Teacher Susan. I taught for VIP Kid for 4.5 years. and I was planning to make it to the 5-year mark, which would be this coming April. So what happened is the Chinese government pretty much put limitations on all of these tutoring companies and shut them down. So it was no choice of mine, but I lost my job this past fall. And I loved teaching. It was a great job. It was easy for me. I loved my students. But it happened. It can happen. We faced my husband losing his job last year due to mandates, and thankfully we armed ourselves with knowledge and we secured his religious exemption, and that did not come to pass. So all of these things may come to pass, but the silver lining is when you live in alignment with your beliefs, you start attracting people and places and circumstances that align with your beliefs, and it is a beautiful thing. You are supported, you are loved, and life actually gets better. So yes, there is loss, but there is so much more to gain. And so those are just some things I've been thinking about. That's why I like to wear all these things. Also, last May, I joined this thing called Tribe. Stu McLaren is the founder and creator of this Tribe experience, and that's why Rise Up with Susan May is here. And so I was already planning on eventually retiring myself from VIP Kids, so it happened sooner than I thought. And so now I get to make my own work schedule. I get to decide that I'm going to wake up on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays and do work. And it is empowering, and yes, I get tired, but I am inspired by the work I do, so I want to do it. So now, let's move on. Vitamin C. This is the story of the day, vitamin C. Story of the week, story of the month. So my father was diagnosed with cancer in January of 2020. And by that point, I believe I had been taking high doses of vitamin C just in water, dissolved in water, so orally, every day or most days for about 3 years. I think I have some of my dates wrong and some of my posts, so if they don't line up, I'm sorry. I get confused. I'm pretty sure 2017 was the year I really started digging into the knowledge about vitamin C and applying it to my life. So until that point, my dad hadn't really seemed all that interested in vitamin C, but I was incredibly proud of him because when he was diagnosed, and I probably said something to him like, I've heard people using infusions of vitamin C, Dad. He did the work. He went and did research. He found stories online of people using intravenous vitamin C, IV vitamin C, and then he went online and found clinics. And luckily I was visiting him at the time. I didn't live in Florida, and we were able to go to this clinic together, and he decided, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get vitamin C infusions along with traditional chemo. So there's a couple key points I want to really highlight with my dad's story. First of all, his doctor, his oncologist, was not really supportive at all of him doing vitamin C. She didn't tell them that he couldn't. She did kind of say that it could interfere with the chemo, and so she kind of discouraged him. But my dad was pretty determined. He was very brave, and he felt strongly that he wanted to try it, so he did it anyway. So for 3 months, he was getting chemo and he was getting vitamin C. Now my dad is a big guy. He's 6'5", and he had lost a lot of weight at that point, but he's still a big guy. So they chose to give him 100 grams. So that is 100,000 milligrams of IV vitamin C twice per week. So he would go on Mondays and Thursdays for vitamin C and get chemo on Fridays. Now, a couple really, really amazing things with his first experience with this in 2020. He experienced close to 0 symptoms from his chemo. He actually felt really great most of the time. He continued to be extremely active. He golfs, he swims, he goes for walks, he plays pickleball. He may have stopped swimming for a while. I think the doctor advised him to do that. But he stayed active. And you have to remember, too, that this was the beginning of everything starting to happen. Right when he's doing these treatments is when we started to have lockdowns. And so personally, I am so grateful for the timing of his diagnosis, that he was diagnosed in January, because that meant he got treatment right away. Whereas if it had been a few months later, who knows what would have happened. I don't even want to think about it. So he was getting vitamin C. He felt great, had almost no symptoms. And so after 3 months, they did a scan, and the cancer was in his lymph nodes, and they were measuring 3 particular lymph nodes. 2 of the 3 were back in normal range after 3 months, which was like 1 round, of the chemo. And the remaining 1 was still a little bit bigger, but it was like 90% reduced. The doctor told him that they expected like a 30% reduction if the chemo was working really well. That's what they expected for a good result, a 30% reduction. His lymph nodes were reduced by 90 to 95%. So this is right in front of his doctor. The evidence is there that this treatment that he chose is working, and she still didn't acknowledge it. She basically was like, well, the vitamin C could be bad for you. Like, she just didn't even, I guess in my heart, I would hope that a doctor would be like, wow, that's amazing. Maybe I should try that with my other patients. Didn't happen. Now I can hope that like a seed was planted in this woman's head. I don't know that it was. But the thing that I'm just so amazed by with my father was his openness to try something new. I'm just so grateful that he did that. And these t-shirts were inspired by his bravery and by him taking that leap of faith and listening to me and just going out there doing his own research and trusting his instincts and deciding, making that decision for himself. Because at the end of the day, it is our body, it is our life, and we have to choose what we do to it. What do we choose for our treatment? What do we choose to eat? Which was another thing he did. He really worked on his diet and what he was eating and drinking, and like I said, staying active, staying in a positive frame of mind. My parents did not even tell my sister and I that the doctors told them he was considered stage 4 cancer when they diagnosed him. We knew, that it seemed bad, but they didn't use those words with us. I didn't find out for a full year later. And so my dad's still with us. We are very convinced that vitamin C had a huge part of him putting that cancer into remission so quickly. And not just that, but that he felt good while he was going through treatments. So that is my dad's story. We are just incredibly grateful for the knowledge that we had and the resources, because he did have to pay for vitamin C out of pocket, which, in my opinion, it should be a given because it's not even terribly expensive. But that's where we are. So I am happy to share this story with you. My vitamin C challenge is starting this coming Monday, January 24th. So I have my little ticker. Oh, I don't have it up right now. You have about 4 more days to sign up for my vitamin C challenge. And so I would love to see you there. We are going to have so much fun. My goal is to streamline the information because there is a lot of information and people tend to get bogged down in details. What kinds do I get? How much do I take? When do I take it? What can I take it with? Can bad things happen to me? Am I just making expensive pee and wasting my money on this? Okay, you have 3 days and 23 hours. Here, let's see. Can I show you this ticker? I'm really not this technologically advanced here. Let's see. So here we go. Get my camera here. You have 3 days, 23 hours, so almost 4 days. 24 minutes and 47 seconds. So, please sign up. I can put a link in the comments. I'd love to have you there. We've been having people sign up the past 2 days, which has made me very excited. I am energized, and I'm just, I have so many ideas of how this can go, but my goal is to simplify things and to get people taking vitamin C. That is my #1 goal. And to help them understand what is the right amount for their body, because it's different for every person. And so what each person has to do is experiment. And that, I think, is a key takeaway from my dad's story, is just being curious and open-minded. And I know the people that have been drawn to this challenge, that have been drawn to my page and my vision, you are my curious people, and I love you for it. So keep being you. On that note, remember, be bold, be brave, be you, because who else is there to be? I love you all, and I will see you here again tomorrow.